Thank you for ordering this Saturn return reading. This is the Peace Dealer. I think you've gotten one of these before, but whether you did or not, I'm very grateful that you're getting this now because we're going to see the Saturn return is so much more relevant for you coming into the rest of this year and next year. My phone is 29 degrees charged, 29% charged, and we're doing a Saturn return about 29 degrees Saturn. So your Saturn return is not like, your Saturn return is not like the rest of the Saturn returns because 29 degrees Saturn have the karmic responsibility of wrapping up the entire karmic lesson of that Saturn cycle. Y'all are built different. And so with your Mercury here in Soul, you've always felt this soul burden, especially in the 11th, where you have to anchor and hold space for the whole collective and community. So I want to actually show you exact dates around when we're going to see this, and I want to show you the nature of how this is going to happen. Out of all the Saturn returns I've seen, y'all's is gangster. I'm not going to lie. Y'all's is very gangster. I'm going to show you how this comes through. It's very terrifying, actually, because your Saturn return signals the beginning of the end of the world. Because after your Saturn, I'm not even joking, after your Saturn returns, then Saturn's going to go into Pisces, and then Pluto's going to go into Aries, Aqua, on your Mars. And we know that you have Pluto square this. So this is going to really stress out your becoming of, since we know you also have your Saturn on your sun, you know, you're an alien goddess, you're high queen. And as a Leo moon, you are the golden high queen, the golden representation of knowledge as a warrior, as an Aries rising warrior. Okay, so I want you to see, first of all, we're going to see Saturn retrograde throughout Gemini season, and the retrograde will happen in June, July, August, September, October, November is where the retrograde will finish. So from Gemini season to Scorpio season, which is your 3rd house to your 8th house, we're seeing the reevaluation of Saturn in your 11th come through. So let's back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. What is the significance of your Saturn return? For example, I'm a Taurus rising with a Gemini sun. So Saturn, for me, returned in my 9th house of higher education. Remember, this is completion. We know that Saturn brings delays. So Saturn in the 9th house will delay higher education until your 30s. Well, during my Saturn return, I graduated college at 30. I started a higher education diploma course. And because this is the 9th house, I also got invited to work on the creation of a college and higher collegiate institution. We know that as a Gemini, this is my 8th house. So the 9th house was me working on college, but what was that college about? The occult, the 8th house. So that was the beginning of my return to kick off the next 30 years for you. For you, Sarah, it's a little different because you're high queen. See, Aquarius men and women are different. Y'all different. Y'all different. It's not the same. Even because you're coming at reality from the higher knowledge, from the higher realm, from the 3rd heaven. So y'all already know that's your motto. I know, right? You're very creative. You're very talented, but you're also a leader. MC in Cap means that you're meant to be a collective leader. You're not the owner of Sarah's coffee shop. You're the CEO of Starbucks. There's a difference. So with that being said, or, you know, you turn Sarah's coffee shop into a Fortune 500 company, which has its own CEO, okay? So really keep this in mind because Saturn in your 11th, as an Aqua Sun, is you identifying with the authority over the collective, max authority. So when I got my Saturn return, I became an authority over what I teach. It's harder for people to kind of tell me about what I do because I do this, okay? Saturn returns mean that you are coming into adulthood by establishing your authority. It's your badge. That's why if you don't have integrity, Saturn whoops your ass because you're meant to establish this and contribute that to the world. The first 30 years, you compress your power at birth. And so this is a decompression that through these lessons aligns you with integrity so that the Saturn return returns your power that you had before this lifetime. And then the next 30 years, as you step into adulthood, obviously 27, 28, 29, most people have graduated college, have entered the workforce, and they're stepping into adulthood. This is going to allow you to establish your own unique sense of authority as you now contribute that into the world for the next 30 years. And then I'm very serious about this because you having 29 degree Saturn, first of all, I have Saturn in Capricorn. So my moon's on Saturn. I understand Saturn more than most everybody, even Sun Capricorns. Okay? Okay? So to see you have 29 degree Saturn Aquarius, you got a legit Saturn. I respect Saturn in Aqua, but I really respect 29 degree Saturn in Aqua. And that's a burden that your soul has carried your whole life. You're going to feel this burden begin to release, but it's going to kick you off on so much more responsibility. You know the saying, with great power comes great responsibility. So the reason why you need to have integrity is the Saturn return puts you in positions to harness this badge, this responsibility. And relative to the 11th house, the authority you're coming into is the collective, where you will command this sense of influence through your social circle. Hence, Saturn in your 11th has kept your circle tight and small. It's not easy for you to make friends with that Pluto square. You have very deep trust issues because not everyone is to be trusted. And you're not going to compromise. You know, Aquarius can be very stubborn. Leo can be very stubborn. Scorpio can be super stubborn. Okay? And sometimes in a great way, because you're going to put your foot down. You're not going to let BS come through you. And so this has caused you perhaps to not have, you believe in quality in friendships, not quantity. But the most important thing here is that with 29 degree Saturn, thankfully linked with your mastermind, or rather your genius brain's ability to process higher knowledge, it enables you to apply this Saturn authority in how much control and knowledge goes around who you feel is a part of your community. Saturn in the 11th means you are collectively responsible, okay? You are Aquarius collectively, Saturn responsible for the 11th house, your community. All right? This means that you're going to be able to call shots about what happens around your social circle, around your community, around how you're going to be building in retrospect to your 5th house of creativity, the friends and the supporters that rally around your own creative expressions and contributions. This is very, very important because you're going to step into this for the first time. And that Pluto square is going to be that hatred you feel from people who are jealous of you. Who is this white girl who feels that she thinks she knows better than us? And this is where you have to, with your Leo moon, be like, bitch, I do know. I don't think I know it all. I do know. Okay? And this is why I like to say Saturn and Aquarius, y'all got the short end of the stick. Like, the universe trying to play y'all. Now, it's not the worst because it makes you easily the strongest out of everyone. But Saturn and Cap, we're the most powerful. The only one stronger than us is y'all. The only one stronger than us. Like every single Saturn and Cap, we run the world. Like, it is what it is. People hating on Soldier Boy. He running stuff. The Weekend, Saturn Cap, he running stuff. The only one stronger than us is y'all. 91, 92, 93, 94. Saturn, Aqua. It is what it is. And 94 is the year we see Saturn go into Pisces. So seeing that you have a 58 degrees is a huge deal. I want to make sure we really establish the importance of this, because when we put Saturn in the 11th house especially, this is difficult. It's not easy. Saturn in the 11th house is having the job of having to manage HR for a very, with Pluto square, dramatic and just messy organization. And you're constantly having to deal with gossip from people, but it's your job to make sure that everyone in that company follows the same page. You are responsible for that collective. And Saturn is going to bless you with the opportunity to monetize and also gain more influence. Remember, the 11th house is the house of fame. So when you put Saturn here, it delays notoriety until your 30s, but the quality of recognition and people in your circle, snap, 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 are heavy hitters. Saturn in the 11th means that the people who know and know you are directors, producers. Yeah, it may not be like socialite fame, but there's a lot more quality in the people who respect you. And this is very important because Mercury attached to this links your brain's ability to process this knowledge very seriously. It's very shocking for many people to accept that you're a genius. Like, you're very intelligent. It's just they see the Aries rising, your sun is by Mars, you have a very reckless way of expressing your personality. It sometimes throws people off from the fact that you still high queen. You still Aquarius, you know what I'm saying? You still know. You still in the know, and you still produce knowledge that influences everybody. And so, you know, with that tight Pluto square, with that opposition to your moon, you've inhibited and held this back your whole life. People don't even know you got it like that. Oh, but they about to find out. And this eclipse that we have is literally unlocking so much wealth for you that it's skyrocketing your confidence in yourself. So it's not a coincidence that you are completing this first Saturn cycle while Jupiter has come out your 12th house and will come in your first. Next year, when this comes around, Jupiter is going to be in your first. I want you to consider the irony of that. You're going to start a brand new 12-year Jupiter cycle. When I started my 12-year Jupiter cycle, I became the peace dealer, baby. So you know this is not a joke. In fact, Jupiter going through your 12th house is releasing and surrendering old beliefs. When that happened to me, I didn't know what was happening in my life. I had to just let go. And that led to me becoming the peace dealer. So you're changing the spiritual beliefs that will transcend how much you know yourself to be the high queen. Okay? Leos need to walk around like they shit don't stink, but they can't be too narcissistic. Aqua, y'all shit don't stink. I'm just joking. Everyone shit stink. But you are the high leaders of us. It's your age we're entering to. So you cannot have self-confidence issues because of the opinions of other people who are jealous of you. It's usually going to be jealousy. What's very important is you're starting a brand new 12-year cycle, 2023, when you're also kicking off a brand new 27, 30-year cycle. Your timing is on point, my friend. And so you want to see the rest of 2022 as closure. This is what brings us to Scorpio season, where Saturn will go direct. So 2020, we had Mars conjunct Saturn on your Mars. This is where you kicked off the beginning of the Saturn return, which is analogous to a final exam, which puts you in a position to, with everyone else in your Saturn return, be hit with collective tests that will test your character. 29 degrees for you is where you're going to hand in the final exam. You're going to be one of the last people to hand in the final exam. And then Saturn will go into Pisces, you all get your results. So that being said, the first decan of this, going over your Sun and Venus, must have been very challenging for you because you felt firsthand the responsibility needed to express yourself through. And the challenge of this is finding people to take you serious without having to be fake about it. This is where coming into 2021 during the second decan, this strengthened a lot of what you established about yourself and enabled you with Jupiter coming through here to evolve your social circle, to evolve the quality around who you believe belongs with you, and to once and for all with that Jupiter square to Scorpio, confront and challenge those in social environments who don't respect your boundaries and who you have trust issues with. Fast forward to 2022. This is now getting ready over the next year and a half to wrap up this lesson. So the retrograde, as we open the doorway into truth in Gemini, over the next 5 months through Scorpio season, will effectively integrate this more extraordinary quality of the authority you are establishing through manifesting more value and what you have to allocate this recent success since 2020 you've come through to, of course, release the old cycle. The most important thing about this is, Sarah, you're stepping into a higher level of success than you ever have, but it's probably not going to feel like that. Remember, all this is opposite your moon in Leo, and people are out here trying to kill Leo. People are out here trying to crucify Leo. That doesn't mean Leo doesn't have to take responsibility, but in most of the cases where these Leos are just expressing their confidence and courage, Leo, moon, and sun, they coming for you. And the Leo moons, where you can see Joe Rogan and Tory Lanez get at, you won't see it for the Leo moons. This is more private. And so it may not feel like you're successful, but you have to treat this as growing pains. Okay? This inhibition is your challenge to grow out of so that you can express more of your strength than ever before. I'm going to tell you right now, you got 29 degree Saturn, nobody's fucking with you. Nobody. And remember, anytime you get down or low, remember you have 29 degree Saturn. You chose that. Nobody's fucking with you. That means you have the last word. And this is true in your own life. Where that Pluto square will be that very petty, intense, psychological manipulation, but you got the last word, not them. Okay, remember that. Don't give your power away. Remember, you have the final say. That was a bar. Anyway, other than that, once we get to Scorpio season, come out this eclipse and transform a lot of what you're working with. Remember, the 8th house, 11th house aspect is who you trust to be around you, who you trust to belong with you. Opposite the 2nd house of your own finances and the 5th house of your own creativity. So Leo season and Scorpio season is going to break you through from August to November to how much courageous, now that you're evolving your personality, the short time Jupiter's in Aries, you are when it comes to this evolution of your spiritual beliefs. Obviously, we'll see Jupiter retrograde back into Pisces during Scorpio season, and Mercury will be squaring your Saturn, while the Sun will be squaring your Mercury, like that. So this is very, very, very key, because not only will this challenge a lot, by the time Saturn's ready to go direct, it's going to be ready to go into Pisces, and of course, Pluto will be getting ready to go into Aquarius. We'll also see Mars retrograding in your 3rd, which will reevaluate the attitude around how you assertively take action with your ideas. And so this quincunx is going to establish a breakthrough in how much more boldly you bring this attitude socially to other people. And you may rain hailstorm and thunder on, fools who haven't recognized that you have long since leveled up. Because the Jupiter 12th means that you have guardian angels, and this level up is low key. It's behind closed doors. And so with that being said, Saturn here in the 11th, as we go direct, will now start to show you the results of your hard work. Wax on, wax off. For as much as you may have been feeling not the strongest, you're going to start to break through this as we step into 2023. And this is where the 3rd decan lesson of this is to apply the strengthening of your confidence and how you can take action and lead forward by example. This is definitely also going to look at how you identify with crucial friendships in your life. Because when Saturn goes through the 11th, it weeds away all your friends. And it only keeps those around who aren't full of shit, who actually are movers and shakers, and who aren't a distraction. Of course, tied to Aquarius, who really knows what they know? Because if they don't, they're not going to be able to stay with you. It is what it is. And if they're not pure, the Pluto square will weed them out. This is the good side of Scorpio that'll let you know, hey, you can't trust this person. Hey, you can trust this idea. Hey, you can't trust this or that. All right, that being said, now let's move forward in time. This is December. This is January, okay, Capricorn season. This is February, 29 Cap. All right, 27 Aqua. You peep. All right. This is March. Saturn finally goes into Pisces. And after that, I want you to see, look at Pluto. After we step into Aries season and start the new cycle at 0 degrees, can you believe that? Remember, the last time we had 21st of March, it was the apocalypse, my friend. Boom. We will have literally Pluto, after that 1 degree mark, go into Aquarius. The beginning of the end of the world literally follows your Saturn return. That is how important you are. And don't let anybody else make you feel any different. You are a part of this judgment process. This is going to mark a very crucial pivotal time with Mars finally going direct, where there's no Cancer, no Leo, no Virgo, no Libra, in the age of social distancing, no Scorpio, no Sag, and now finally, for the first time ever, no Capricorn. Let's get it. We're going to see the collapse of many government structures that have been crumbling, but will make way for the revolution of the individual. Why is this important? We're headed into the new age of Aquarius. What do you represent? Aquarius. And so this is getting ready to prepare you at such a young age to step into the leadership necessary to facilitate this, with Pluto on your Mars, so close to your sun, awakening the alien goddess energy, cosmic energy that is necessary to push you forward. I want to highlight December, where we're going to see Saturn directly opposite your moon again. And this is going to challenge, whereas the retrograde opposition will bring up any insecurities, the direct opposition will have you overcome those insecurities that may have been evoked from Cancer season. Gemini to Cancer season, June and July is where that first opposition will come through. And of course, Sag to Cap season is where we'll see this overcome. So I hope you enjoy the Saturn return, my friend. You are an absolute badass. You've gone through a lot of depression, and this was only meant to have you turn inwards so that you recognize that your value and influence is not dependent on other people's opinions. That doesn't mean that you don't have shortcomings that you had to overcome, but chalk it all to the game. Charge it all to the game. Because moving forward, this is going to completely set you up for a whole new level of extraordinary influence. This is a double-edged sword. Like, with great power comes responsibility. So you have to be responsible for that message you're putting out there. Mars in Gemini is going to change how assertively you actually express that and lead the charge moving into the socials. Okay, every year Mars leads it, and then the other year Venus leads it. So it's an interesting dance. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this report. Please do not hesitate at all. By the way, as you'll see, Jupiter will fully be in Aries. So it'll be touring your first. You'll be understanding and awakening and evolving a whole new 12-year cycle. Think 2010, 2011, where this happened last time. This is the return of that. And you're going to evolve like never before. And feel free to listen to this report at least 7 times coming into your Saturn return. That's going to happen exactly, once again, around March, February. This will definitely be more relevant. If you have any questions in between or during then, please do not hesitate to ask. All right, I'm very grateful for your support over the years, and so I really do hope this speaks to you. I am very much so looking forward to your feedback. And yeah, until next time, my friend. Peace.